I have one question for you. Why is merch hot now? Hey everyone, Jamo here. A couple days ago, Nintendo announced that we would be receiving a Splatoon Direct in the coming days. When I saw this, I thought to myself, oh yeah, this game is releasing next month. It seems even Nintendo forgot for a while there, with hardly any new substantial information coming out for a very long time. And with the release date coming up fast, it did strike me as a bit strange, because in my opinion, this game doesn't feel like much of an upgrade. Not from all the trailers we've seen up to this point anyway. And I know Nintendo sequels aren't known for being rapidly different from the last and tend to be very iterative, but the Nintendo Switch era made it seem like this was a thing of the past. While Splatoon 2 follows the old form of Nintendo sequels, that was okay because Splatoon 2 was less about expanding the Splatoon world in the first game, and more about just getting Splatoon into more people's homes, now that they weren't shackled to a doomed console 3 years after it came out. But over the past year and a half of information and trailers, Splatoon 3 didn't seem like much of an upgrade. Sure, there's new weapon types, sure there's a new city that looks a bit different from Inkopolis, you know, with the desert theme, but none of that is much of a selling point, unless you're one of those people that like the meta and have a field day memorizing new maps and mastering all the weapon tweaks. I'm more of a, how do I say this, intense casual? Like, I'll play for hours and hours on end, but that does not make me a pro at the game. And all this mammalian story mode thing, it just kind of looked like more Octo Valley crap. You know, where we fight DJ Octavio doing his DJ Octavio thing. Salmon Run also looked like the same thing we played countless times before, just with the occasional new monster and egg toss. Did this new Direct change my opinions on the game? We'll get into that. They showed off a lot of gameplay during this presentation, showcasing pretty much everything it will have to offer at launch. The best place I feel to start on this is what we all come to Splatoon for, the online stuff. And I'll say this, the battle maps all look fine, some are kinda cool, but nothing really stands out to me, except maybe Hagglefish Market. I like that one, it seems pretty cool to me. And they're bringing back the good stages from Splatoon 2, such as Mako Mart and the Inkblot Art Academy. Very nice. And the new weapon types are real neat. I'm actually pretty excited to try out the Stringers and especially the Splatanas. Call me edgy, but I really like them. Plus, the special Tacticooler seems pretty fun too. And thank God they kept the ink rain. I don't know what I'd do without it. The fact we can go into training mode while waiting for a match is pretty snazzy too. You don't know how much of my life has been wasted staring at this screen, so this is much appreciated. Especially with all these new weapons to get acquainted with. Something that does disappoint me somewhat is the ranked, Anarchy mode. It's the same from the last game. I like Splatoon 2's ranked mode, but the fact that they're the same is a little disappointing. Of course, new weapons and maps will make it so it never feels identical to the last game, but this does let me down slightly. Is it me, or does anybody else get bothered when these companies announce paid DLC expansions before a game has even been released? Call me crazy, but it comes across as very capitalistic, and that is why we need to abolish these sorts of things. Anyway, oh my gosh, Pearl and Marina are coming back! Yes! As for the new idol group, they look fine. Actually pretty cute. And I like that there's 3 of them this time around, especially with that tubby dude in the back. But stacking them up against the previous hosts, they don't come out favourably. You can't top perfection. You just can't. But that leads me on to my next point, which is something to be hyped for. The Splatfest. Oh my god, this is such a game changer! A 3-team match? 3 teams to choose from? This was genuinely really cool. This is what I've been waiting for. Something substantial, different, and just new. Something fresh. You know, stay fresh. This is the fresh. This is the fresh we've been looking for, guys. Okay, maybe it's not as glamorous as a new game mode, but it's interesting. And a major shake-up from what we've been used to in Splatoon before. And it being part of a Splatfest surely does make it rather interesting and unique. I can imagine it's going to change the way you strategize, with, you know, 2 of the teams only having 2 members on. And with more enemy ink to deal with, that's going to be a trouble. Well done, Nintendo. But hey, check it out! We did get a new game mode! Table Turf Battles! Meh. This feels like the sort of thing I'll fiddle around with a couple times, and then go straight back to the online turf war and whatnot. Sorry to those that think this looks cool, I don't want to take away anything from your enjoyment, but to me it just looks boring. I do like how it fits into the world though, and is based on trading cards. It helps to flesh out this city, and makes the Splatoon world feel a lot more like the 90s 2000s roots it has. Very neat stuff, at least in the aesthetics department. The lockers are also really fun. Me and my friends for years have wanted something like this, and while custom bedrooms would have been cool, honestly, lockers fit the world far much better. What can I say? I'm a sucker for customization. You'll catch me messing around with this a lot. And now, to go back to the start of the video. Did this direct change my opinion on the game? Am I hyped? Well, those are 2 different questions, and in terms of the first question, I dunno, I'm still on the fence. I still don't think this game feels like that much of a step up from 2, that deserved all these years in the oven, but my hype levels are certainly getting higher. I'll certainly be partaking in the demo test fire sort of thing they're hosting at the end of the month, and hopefully I'll see you all in the Splatlands come September. To round out this video, we'll have a character rundown, where I give my thoughts on them. Are you ready? Let's go! Shiver, cool gal. Fry, hot but not the sexy kind. Merge, hot but the sexy kind. Mr. Coco, gives fun uncle vibes, very cool. Gnarly Eddie, I adore that hairstyle. Jill LaFleur,
I'm wise beyond my years.
Big man, he's a big boy. Harmony, best girl, no questions asked.